Well, this is something a little different for me. When I first started making music, it was on piano. I took a lot of years of piano before I learned any other instruments, but took a lot of years off after that. So it's been a little while of sort of relearning how to do this stuff. But hello to everybody that's tuning in here tonight, and anyone that watches this later on. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully it goes okay. Spent a lot of time working on sound, trying to figure out how to mic this thing correctly. So hopefully it sounds all right. I'm keeping an eye on any chatting that happens here, so if anything doesn't sound right, just let me know. I'll see if I can fix it. This first song, this was written back in mending time period. And it was originally, it was going to be on that record as I was starting to write it. That was the plan for it. I was living down in Harrisburg at the time, and it was a late night driving across the river back towards my apartment and just seeing the city skyline with all the lights lit up reflecting off the water. I just thought to myself, wow, that's a pretty city. And it sort of stuck in my head, and I started writing this song, originally inspired by Harrisburg, and it sort of turned into something else. But I wrote it on guitar, and it sounded too much like one of the other songs on the record, and I just kind of put it aside and never got back to it. So fast forward to the last year or so, about a year ago exactly actually, I sat down at the piano, figured out how to play the song on piano, and it sort of got a new life. So debuted this song with the O'Brien Trio last year at Father Folk. I apologize, the vocals get a little bit high here. It's the part I normally hand off to Christina, but we're going to give it a shot here myself. The song's called Pretty City. Cold brick and mortar, cracked from the years, but this broken facade betrays something held dear. There are echoes in the halls, past the broken, dusty walls. Walk past the border, step past the edge of the common perception, jump off the ledge, let the lights slowly dim, let the river draw you in. And it's a pretty, pretty city, the one that I love when I'm standing on the outside with my heart hanging out, and I feel like I can't breathe. There's a place that waits for me, my home. I've been a long time finding my way, and the road that I travel led often astray, but the road led me through. It led me to you, and it's a pretty, pretty city, the one that I love when I'm standing on the outside with my heart hanging out, and I feel like Great, thank you. Didn't go too badly. I made the mistake when I was younger in writing a lot of songs higher than I was going to be able to sing them 10 or 15 years later. As my voice matured and aged and became more, I don't know, wise or something. Anyway, this next song, this song was on the 2006 album Green Skies, and to my knowledge, this has never been played live in any capacity whatsoever. I wrote it a long time before that, and that was back in the days of using fake drums on a keyboard, and it's a strange little song with different rhythms, different time signatures that bounce kind of back and forth throughout. And it took a long time of trying to figure out a way to do a percussion that actually worked with the song. And I did it on that record, and it works okay, I think, in the record, but I'd never really played it live because usually when the Goodroot and I played, it was just guitars and drums and never had a keyboard along. So, like I said, this, I believe, is a world premiere of a song released back in 2006. I play it a little differently here than I used to, but this is called Tired of Waiting. Hey girl, what you crying for? You can go on a little more. 'Cause I will never wait for your love, and I will never weigh down my life. Hey girl, if I am not mistaken, you're not as lonely as you're faking to be. And I will never wait for your love, and I will never weigh down my life. You've been watching me, keeping your eyes on me, but nothing is happening, and I'm tired of waiting. Hey girl, what you crying for? Your tears can head right out that door. 'Cause I will never wait for your love, and I will never weigh down my life. Oh, yeah. That takes me back. So, last time I did a live stream from the house here, there was a request for a song that I guess we can probably call it my first hit. So back when I was in high school, 2001, 2002, I recorded my first CD as a senior project. And A lot of the songs on that CD, I don't have a whole lot of memory of putting them together. I was just learning how to write music at that time. Most of them are not very good to listen to now or to really dive into. I would throw this one into that category too, but I guess there was just something about it that people latched on to. And when the guys and I would play live, this is one that got asked for years and years and years and years. And it sort of became a joke that we wouldn't play it, and then we'd bust it out late in the set, and everyone would get excited. And I never really understood why everyone loved it. This little song that I wrote one afternoon in study hall that, if you really read it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I guess it's one of those things where it's better than the sum of its parts. So this is a new version of this song. This song is called Faded.
Is anything ever what it appears to be? Jumpstart, get me going, wake me up again. Don't leave, just hang around, you'll see what I can when you can't believe in anything. Ignorance may be bliss, but I am learning everything. It isn't meant for craving. This world has changed me. Passion, any man's desire to be free, limiting your life to only be for me. I see the sun, it's shining through the clouds. My time has come, the moment is now. Ignorance may be bliss, but I am learning everything. It isn't meant for craving. This world has changed me. Oh, faded.
All right, thank you. That, for those of you that didn't know it, is Faded. So, there's a pair of songs in my catalog that both had a very, very similar creation, very, very similar story of creation, both of which were written when I was at Mulberry Station, both of which were written when I was in the apartment by myself, watching TV, and suddenly felt inspiration, notably after drinking quite a bit of wine, which is not something I typically do, drink a lot of wine and then sit down and write a song. The two don't really go together most of the time. So A little strange that these two songs are sort of joined in the hip in that way, and they're about as different of songs as they could possibly be. I'm going to end the set with these two. So, a little backstory on the first one. You may have noticed a few stuffed animals around us here. I went through a phase in my life, and some would say I'm still in this phase, where I had a bit of a obsession with the animal of bear. So, living in this apartment with a couple of guys in my mid-20s, I'm sure they thought for a while that I was pulling their leg a little bit, that every time we sat down, I was watching a bear documentary, or I'd put a bear documentary on the TV. But I think one of my roommates got the picture the one night when he and his girlfriend were heading out. They left, they walked out the door, headed down the stairs, and forgot something. And by the time they turned around, came back into the door 30 seconds later, I had already fired up a bear documentary and was sitting and watching it. And that's when they knew that I really did have a problem. So the problem kept going, and like I said, one night I was watching a bear documentary on TV and drinking a bottle of wine, and this line just popped into my head that bears will eat you if they're hungry. They don't mean to be unruly. And I said, you know what? I may be drunk, but there's a song there. And this one didn't come out all at once. This one took a little while to write, but this one's called Bears.
Up in Alaska, bears are everywhere. They've got grizzlies, they've got black bears. But don't eat pasta if you're camping, 'cause they need carbs for hibernating. Well, bears will eat you if they're hungry. They don't mean to be unruly. Timothy Treadwell, he wanted to be a bear. He moved to Alaska to live among them there. But late one summer there was a lack of salmon, and they ate him too. And the famine, well, bears will eat you if they're hungry. You're the next best thing to honey. A giant mass of muscle, fur, teeth, and claws frame nature's greatest beast of all. Bears have spent time in the public view. They've been stuffed animals, they've been in movies too. But if you find them cute and furry, well, they'll surprise you with their fury. When bears will eat you if they're hungry, it's just instinct. You're so juicy, bears will eat you if they're hungry. They don't mean to be unruly.
And so that's Bears. All right, I'm going to do just one more here tonight. So I alluded to the fact that this is the second song out of the two that had a very similar origin story. Sitting in the apartment alone, watching a movie, circa 2008, maybe 2008, 2009, something like that. And I just got this picture in my head of sitting in an empty movie theater by myself, watching my own life play back on the movie screen. And I said, you know what, I could write a song about that. And I was in the middle of writing the Mending records, so everything that I was writing at that time sort of took a turn down that path. And this is the only piano-based song that made it on that record. But it was written in one sitting. I turned around on the couch, I walked over to the keyboard and sat down, and I still have the handwritten lyric sheet. It's all crossed out and jumbled up and everything, but the whole song was written in about probably 30, 45 minutes, something like that I just sat there and pounded it out. And it's a pretty simple song, but I think it's a pretty good one. And if you've heard my album Mending, you'll definitely know this song, but this is called Moving Pictures. And thank you guys, everyone that tuned in here tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see, things seem to be turning around out there a little bit in the world, at least in some facets of life. So I don't know, I might not do too many of these things. So I hope you've enjoyed the music that myself and the family have made and put out for everyone to enjoy through these times. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. This is called Moving Pictures. Tape wound round the wheel, scene to scene, lighting up the screen. Come find me, look up and it's yours. In person, in moving pictures, fade tonight, shot in black and white, we're face to face. Fallen child meets grace. I'm losing, you play the victor. In my life, in moving pictures. Speak your line, word for word each time. I turn the page, but the words never change. Come find me, the end is Thank you. Sorry, Brian Paul Bear. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a wonderful night, and maybe we'll see you guys next time.